Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. This is episode 8 now of the Somerset Survival Series. So it's amazing how quick we're getting through these episodes, to be honest with you. So I haven't quite figured out that farmland auction mod yet. I have been trying to fiddle with it. Supposedly, you're meant to visit the land and then just press B to place a bid, but I've been to the field and it doesn't seem to work. So I think, again, if anyone's used it before and they know what to do, please let me know. Just for the future, it might not be too long before we can actually look at purchasing a second field, and potentially having some grass in it, to be honest with you, just as a bit of an extra earner. But I am thinking ahead, definitely. Now we're just going to start the day. We're just going to swap up the chickens. And also we're just checking on the greenhouse and just see what it's like for water. The seed and the fertilizer doesn't seem to be too bad, so hopefully we don't need any of that yet, but yeah, definitely we'll have to check in on the water. We might have to make another trip first thing. So we'll just get these bits done out of the way first thing. How do I use this again? That's it, charge. Brilliant. I think what I'll do today, I'll show you the Ford pickup truck that I'm thinking of getting. I may even just add in the additional money and actually purchase it and leave it at the shop. And then when it comes to us actually doing the deal, we'll just manually deduct it, just so at least everyone can kind of see what it looks like and let me know what you think of it. I think it'll suit quite well. Right. Why is this not working this time? That's interesting. We have skipped through a day as well. We are now in March, so I will. It only seems to work on that side for some reason, which is odd, but there you go. Just what I want to do for now. That was go through the day at least. I will just have a quick look and see if we have got any fertilizing contracts now that we've progressed through the year a little bit more. Brilliant. So there are some. Not really worth a huge amount of money. Field number 23 gets us £507. Which one is 23? Okay, I mean that is a pretty small field. Definitely is quite a small field. So I think just while it's there, let's accept that one, because I'm quite keen to use the spreader, to be honest. I've never used it, so we'll accept that contract. No need to borrow anything. Did I accept the right one? No. Okay, right, well now we've accepted 2, but I just want to do that small field if I'm honest. So let's just check in on the greenhouse. So wonderful, another lettuce. No materials missing, which is great. Let's just have a look. So the water is getting quite low though. That's nearly gone through 2,000 litres of water already. Again, seeds fertilizer is pretty good. We have got that random bag of fertilizer as well, which we do need to go and collect. I'm going to hold off for a minute though using the van, because that's what caused the issue last time. Someone did comment, by the way, thank you very much. I seen it after because I pre-recorded the last episode, but potentially I could have put some form of command into the console and probably gone underneath the map to move it anyway. So I will remember that for the future. And if anything like that happens again, you know, if all along this issue was the map, then we will figure out what that command prompt is and we'll do that instead. But at least I know, hopefully, I'm not going to need to be restarting the game or restarting this map, because that would be frustrating. So, right, so what we're going to do first thing is close the greenhouse door for a start. That's been irritating me for 2 episodes. We're going to go with the tractor and the water tanker trailer and just get another load of water. The rate that's going through the water, I don't know if that will get us through today. So let's just connect this up and we'll head down. While I remember, let's put the speed back up. So let's go back for a times 10. Whenever possible, I'll try and keep it at times 10. Although I keep saying that, and then within about 2 minutes I reduce it down for one reason or another, so I'll do my best to keep it the same anyway. That's not a bad colour match considering it was dark. In fact, it probably matches the colour of the wheels anyway. Right, let's head on down. Again, just while we're doing this drive, I just want to say thanks very much for the comments. If you're watching this, hopefully this isn't the first episode you've seen. This is obviously part of a series, and I do have a second series as well. I do, the little bit of effort goes into making these videos, a little bit of editing, but to be honest, I just have fun. I enjoy playing it, and I just want as many people as possible to see, someone different playing the game. I guess maybe ever so slightly differently to the standard, which it's always nice to see different ways to play this kind of game. And the world is your oyster with this game, to be honest. You can play it however you want. You can even play it without actually doing any farming, so a bit too far there. But no, I do appreciate it. Before I did videos, I used to always see mentions of an algorithm, and it used to confuse me, to be honest with you, but I got a bit of an understanding now. And I guess the best way for me to look at it and put it is probably the YouTube algorithm is like the YouTube priority. So it's your level of priority in YouTube's suggestions, recommendations to other people watching similar videos, sometimes completely random videos. I know some people have come across from watching GTA 5 videos and ended up finding these. So I do appreciate, the likes and the subs which are going up all the time. I'm quite amazed by it, but it's helping that algorithm, or that YouTube priority. And it's meaning that my videos are getting suggested in other videos a lot more, which is great, because I'm very early stages of doing this sort of thing, quite inexperienced, far from a pro, but I am really surprised at how many comments, how many views I'm getting, and it makes me feel pretty good, to be honest. But do keep it up, and if you don't mind, I'm not in it for the money. I'm not kind of one of those YouTubers, but if you don't mind popping a like against it, certainly giving it a sub, just to get that priority, that YouTube algorithm up, so that I can show the video to even more people. So that would be great. But yeah, this is all about fun. This is all about fun. It's not about money. It's not about your kind of typical desperate for subscriptions. That's not really how it works. But thank you very much. Anyway, just going to let this fill up. I'll cut through once it's done. Okay, here we are, nearly back at the farm. So we'll just top up the greenhouse, and then I think we'll hook up the fertilizer spreader, and we'll do our first field. So we'll go with that smallest field first, see how long it takes us. It's only paying 500 quid. It's barely worth the time, but it'd be good to use it, and I've never used that mod before. I'm quite excited to give it a go. So that's our first thing. Now, I haven't decided to sell the harvester. As much of a nightmare as it is, I think I will. I'll give it another go. Probably not in this episode because it was frustrating me a bit, but we do need to get that field finished. Then we will sell it, and then once we've sold it, we can concentrate then on various seeders, potentially small cultivators, and get it replanted. And hopefully by that time, the lettuce, the eggs would have generated us enough money to get the other combine. Now I keep mentioning that the combine's 17,000, but I keep looking at it wrong. It's actually only 12,000, so that's better. So 5,000 less than what I've been thinking in my head. So we do also have the pickup truck, which I will, once we've done some fertilizing, I will add the money, buy it from the shop, do a little bit of maintenance editing on it just so that it is worn down, like I mentioned in the last episode, make it dirty, and then we'll just have to role play that. And I do think it's fair if we had £5,000 plus the van for a beat up old pickup truck. That probably sounds about right. So we'll do that when it comes to getting it. I'll just manually deduct £5,000 from our money, but at least we can see it. We can look at what we're working towards. And again, for me, it's all. I always like to have some form of truck or van or car. I just think it's a handy part of the game. You can get around quicker if you need to buy the odd little thing here and there, or even sell a pallet of lettuce. It's great to have a pickup truck or a van. So we definitely will always have one, no matter what. I'll always have one or the other. But anyway, right, let's just head off to this field. Now, I don't actually know how to get to it, where the main entrance is, so we'll head down here, and I might have to just quickly have a look at the map. I know it's here somewhere, and I know it's a very small field. Well, according to the map, it's a very small field. Let's just have a quick look. So, I'm assuming we'll have to cut through the yard and down here. We'll have a look. Yeah, so I don't, we'll have to see how the series goes, but I don't really have any intention of purchasing this main kind of map farmyard. I want to kind of build out from where we are, to be honest with you. So this is, most of the buildings here are not deletable. No, it's not that way, is it? So yeah, so this yard will stay here, and it will just stay here empty. If I could have deleted a few things, I would have changed them for selling points and things, but it won't let me do it. Right, I'm assuming that actually the gate is over there. I can see a gap in the distance. No, that's not it. It is that field there, isn't it? That's the field that we drilled. The corner that we drilled is looking pretty good, actually. But definitely not that field. That was pretty big, that field. I don't fancy doing that with this. Right, so it must be through here. This way. I'm not going to be collecting any more collectibles, definitely for the near future. I think we're pretty good now. We've got the basics going. Right, so okay, that isn't a bad spread actually. That's not bad at all. I don't think this will take very long. The turning circle on this tractor is not very good at all. As you've probably just seen, can't quite do the headland all in one go, that's for sure. But not too bad. Not too bad. It's doing a good job. Can we do this? Yeah. May have missed a little bit there, but to be honest, I'm sure it will still accept that anyway. So we'll do that. To be honest, this is pretty quick, so maybe I'll head straight on to the other contract that I accepted and I didn't mean to. I don't even know which field that was for. So once we've done this, we'll have a quick look at the map, see where the other one is, head up there and do that as well. The great news is, look, it's only used 296 litres. I do think I need to, by the way, let me know if you can't see it, but I feel I always have the HUD and things very, very small, just because I like to maximise my screen space and see the screen. But I don't know if, when you're watching it, especially if you're watching it on smartphones and things, if you can actually see it, and does it matter if you can't see it, or would you prefer if I just tweak the settings and make the HUD scale a little bit bigger? So do let me know if it bothers you or it makes any difference, because I don't mind. The reason I pause whenever I say anything about how much we've used is because it's so small on my screen, I do actually have to lean forward and have a look at it. So I think maybe even just for my own benefit, it's probably worth... There was an entrance over there. Yes, it's probably worth increasing the size of it anyway, to be honest with you. But yeah, let me know if it makes any difference. Right. We'll do the polite thing and close the gates behind us. Let's have a look. Where was the other field? Okay, well, I can't see it flashing on there. Ah, there it is, look. So, by the shop, but behind the shop. So again, I don't know how we get to that field behind the shop, so we'll have to just drive down and have a look. That does look like a bigger field though, so this may take a little bit more time. It's quite good. It's surprising actually, but these contracts don't really pay a lot. So I remember maybe in the first or second episode, I've definitely said it, that I've always felt that on easy mode, the contracts are just too easy. They pay too much. But actually, they seem to be adapted on this. So, you know, it's on an easy difficulty, but it doesn't pay a silly amount of money to do, you know, decent sized jobs. So you do kind of feel like you're justifying what you're earning, which is better. I don't like to make an income too easily. If anything, selling that lettuce for the price we got it for in the last episode was borderline too easy. But I was happy to do it because I've just gone quiet there because I've noticed the field next to us, that's not the one that we're contracting. However, the number is a different colour. Is this the field that's for sale? Yes, it is. Look, right, so again, this is where you may not see it, but so press B to bid 16,677. So 16,000, that's a big field. That's a really big field. So field 24 is 41,000, and that's not as big as this one. Wow. Although its value is only 15,952, which is strange. Or is that because that's the current bid? That must be its current bid. Yeah, it must be, because that's smaller. So that's about 50 grand's worth of field there for 16 grand. That's good. I'm quite impressed by this. So ends in less than 129 hours. That's a strange way to calculate how long's left. Very strange. Interesting. Wow. Not yet, but wouldn't it be great if we had 16 grand and we could buy that? We'd probably make that on the grain. Not that I want to use that harvester. But do you know, I think once we've got a combine harvester, the self-propelled one, potentially that might be a good deal. You know, we could make the money back pretty instantly. I am going to keep an eye on that. I imagine that field won't still be on there by the time we're done, but now this field isn't actually too bad when you see it, so we'll just get this done quickly. I'll speed this one through a little bit. But yeah, no, I'm impressed by this fertilizer spreader. It's nowhere near, I imagine if you use the standard ones, the 42 meter ones, you can probably do this field in 2 passes. Okay, just on the last pass now of the field, which is great. We will just finish this run. It'll probably say completed before we get to the end, but we will just carry on going to the end of it in a minute. I really like the animations. Look at that. This fertilizer spread is great. It is normally the little things that have the best details. So yeah, it is finished already, but hey, we're nearly here. I really like that. I really like that. So brilliant. So let's just get out of this field. I may as well drive around to the right and put that fertilizer bag into this, to be honest. That saves worrying about bringing the van. And the greenhouse, I believe, still had a decent amount anyway, so that was fine. So let's just pull over here, get back the contracts. So collect that one there, which is the first field we did, and collect this one for 1,197, which is the field we've just finished. So brilliant. So we are now at 8,484. Now, you know what? If we were to sell that combine, which is probably about $2 grand, we're not that far away from getting the self-propelled one. In fact, one more contract would probably do it. Now, oh, did you see that car then? He was a bit of a dodgy driver, wasn't he? Yeah. Anyway, we're not far off getting the self-propelled one, you know, and I think that's within our grasp, and probably within our grasp in this recording. So, I think I'm going to do that, because to be honest, we're only going to be doing the same thing every episode until we actually sort that field out, get it harvested. Then we can start to look at cultivators. I've got some great cultivator mods installed, some really old-fashioned ones, some self-made ones, and the same with seeders as well. I'm trying to find a different seeder actually, rather than using the kind of the John Deere one, which is such a good mod. It's such an obvious mod to use, but it is so used. Also, these lanes and roads are so narrow, it's going to be a bit of a challenge getting it there, especially when you get to like ahead of us here, where you have the walled areas. You know, they do have collisions. It is a bit of a nightmare, and I just don't think that particular seeder is going to be any good. So I'm trying to find a different one. The direct drill ones, though, of course, do help with your precision farming score. So ideally, I do want to have a direct drill. It eliminates some of the challenge, but it does affect the score, and that's the main reason I want it. So if anyone's used a direct drill other than the kind of standard generic John Deere one, and it's any good, then again, let me know. If you're happy and you're still watching the video, let me know in the comments, because I would like to use something a bit different. You know, hence the reason we've gone for a tractor that's a little bit different. If I'm honest, actually, I don't think I've seen this tractor used on any series yet. So it probably is somewhere in the world, but it's certainly not a common one to go for. So right, let's just have a look. How much is that harvester worth? So 1,500. The header's only a couple hundred, I guess. Let's just get rid of it. That eliminates a big weight off of my shoulders already. A big stress has been eliminated by getting rid of that thing. So what are we at? 10,000. So yeah, honestly, we're at 1,800 quid, and that self-propelled harvester has its own header already built in, so there's no extra expense. So honestly, we can do that. We can do that now, definitely. And now, guys, the most amount of eggs that we've had so far. So 371 pieces. Wonderful. How are we looking for chickens and food? So food's good. We now have, again, I'm going to go quiet because I have to lean forward to read it, 28 chickens. So they're doing a good job. They are breeding. We're going to be at our 40 soon. And by the way, when we get to 40, I'm just going to throw 8 in at a time and sell them. That's a couple hundred quid a time extra. Just as a little bit of side income, to be honest. So we'll let it fill up first, and then we'll start to remove some. In theory, as quickly as we remove them, they should breed and refill it back up to capacity anyway. So that's what I'm hoping. Let's just have a quick check over here. So I knew that we had one already. How far off we? So 317 litres, so we're not too far off having a second one. And let's just double check what they're selling for at the moment, because rather than doing another contract, that may be an easy way to get us to that £12,000. So also then, once we've done that as well, I keep forgetting we have got the straw, and I don't know how much straw we're going to get off this field, but the yield's pretty good. We've got 1700 litres of wheat, and I only went up and down once, and I missed so much of it going up and down once that it's probably about the same as just going up the field once. So it seems to look like quite a bit of straw on the ground. So 3,163. We're now in March, but see, that's still a pretty good price. That's still a pretty good price. In fact, that will do it for us, definitely. What were the eggs? So that tent's got a pretty good price actually. So we now have 2 sell points, which is nice. Okay, I mean they're nowhere near. In fact, that's probably almost as bad as it's going to get. So let's not worry about eggs for a minute. But certainly, I mean the times at times 10. I can't imagine 317. It's now on 325 in that short amount of time. I can't imagine that's going to take long to generate another pallet. So we'll leave the tractor there because we're going to use that again. Let's reverse that van up. Start loading up the pallets of lettuce, certainly the one that we have already. This fan is not going to do much more, by the way. This is definitely one of its last tasks for us. Definitely going to be one of its last tasks. What I'll do, I'll sell this lettuce and then I'll cut it. I'll pop the pickup truck that I'm thinking of getting. I'll actually buy it, make it dirty, and I'll leave it in the shop, and then once we sold the lettuce we'll drive the van down to the shop and have a little look at what the pickup truck looks like and see what you think. But I've used the mod before actually. This is one that I've used quite a lot of the time and it is great. I really like it, and I just think it suits this kind of English style farm quite well. I don't know of a farm that doesn't have a pickup truck actually, if I'm honest. Right, okay, so the collision's been weird, but that's because the strap's on. How is this looking now? 332, so it needs a little bit more. Right, what I'm going to do then, just while we're waiting for that, I'm going to cut it here, just quickly add that pickup truck in. By then hopefully the pallet's generated, so I'll just cut it here. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. So I'm not going to lie, I sped the time a little bit. This is taking much longer than I thought it was going to, but it is nearly there. So we'll do this. We'll sell these quick, and then we'll just head to the shop and we'll have a look at that pickup truck. We should by then have enough money to get the combine, and have that ready to go for the next episode. If that we'll finish it at the shop, and then the next episode we will start at the shop. So yeah, let's just 470. We'll just help that along a tiny bit. Brilliant. Right, there we go. So we'll just get this loaded into the van. It's getting quite dark. Fortunately, the farmers market doesn't close. Now, hopefully this is going to get us there. We have had a few issues in the past where it kind of stalls, but we'll see. That smoke is not looking great at all though. So we'll just head there now, sell this, and like I said, we'll head to the shop and just have a little look. We're not going to be able to see the truck properly because it is starting to get quite dark now, but you'll get the gist of it, and I think the truck is great, and that's certainly got to be the next thing. Now, should we try and do some final drifts? Let's see how well I can get around this corner without the collectible in the way. Not very well. Not very well at all. That's like deja vu. I'm pretty sure I did the exact same thing the last time. I wasn't even trying to then. I will be glad to see the end of this. See the back of this van. Although it has been good, and I do, like I keep saying, I really like it. It looks awesome. It's such a good idea. Brilliant. Okay, right, so 3093. Again, we are losing a little bit, 125 environmental score. Like I said yesterday, we have no idea what our actually field looks like. So once we get this harvester, we've completed the harvest. We'll probably look to buy those details, buy the data, and then we'll go from there. But you know, we've got the ability to fertilize it to help the nitrogen, but that is about it. We have nothing more. And before we consider a seeder, we probably need to think about some form of baler. Or even some form of loading wagon just to pick up all the straw, because we can't be wasting valuable money, not at this stage. Oh, my bad. So let's head to the shop. That was perfection. I hope I was still recording that bit. That was impressive. Right, okay, let's have a look at this. So this is what I'm thinking. So I've beaten it up a bit. It's pretty much on the verge of breaking down, as is the other one. But it runs good. It's got some decent space in the back. I reckon we can get to. This was standard to it, by the way, but that's amazing. I haven't activated the mod, even though I have it installed for the trailer which attaches to the back of that. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but I have got it installed, so potentially in the future we can do that. That might be quite a handy thing. Don't see that trailer used a great deal actually anymore. I haven't spotted that in any YouTube videos for a while. So that might be something we can do. But yeah, it looks like it's one thing that irritates me, and it's just me. As you can tell, I like to make them look beat up and dirty. This one you can't. So the wheels get dirty, but the van stays perfectly white. I don't think there's a white van in the whole of this entire area where the map's based, let alone a self-cleaning white van. So great. So that's what we're going to do, I think. So we'll get rid of that. This will be £5,000, which we will deduct manually. And then, yeah, if this breaks down in the meantime, that will force our hand, and we'll have to come up with £5,000. I think, as a rule, we cannot use that unless we get rid of this one. We must always have one of these vehicles or something similar on the farm. So yeah, so that's it really. So I think we're probably close to calling it. So I'm just going to buy the harvester whilst we're here. So I've not used this harvester. I think there is a similar version, or it's almost exactly the same actually, if I'm honest with you, but it's a John Deere version. But I'm just going to stick to this one. Let's see what's available. So should we just go with standard lizard? Yeah. Additional covers. Do they cost money? What do they cover? Not a great deal, to be honest. It's that tiny little cover on the top. Yeah, so we won't worry about that. Sticker type old. Yeah, let's go with old. We can change the colour. Not really. Okay, there's not really much point in doing that, is there? This is going to kind of match our trailer. Definitely. Brilliant. So let's just go with that. Nothing more we can do to it. £12,000. Buy it. There we go. So that's it. We're set up for the next episode. We will finish that field. We'll do a better job than the trailing harvester did. I hope so. Anyway, I do hope so. I've never used it, but I can't imagine it'll be any worse. So we'll do that next episode. Then we'll consider a baler, get the straw all baled up. Then we'll probably look to save ourselves some money to buy that. And then, well, yeah, we'll cross the rest of the bridges when we get to them. So again, if you're still watching, thank you very much for staying with me. Yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.